Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 17, verse 8. There is something going on here in Seattle. There has been a storm and it is very, very cold. There has been no electricity for 2.5 days now. And right now it's November end, so it is cold, but it's not as cold as it would be in end of December or January or February. It gets below freezing also during those times. But right now, we're such wusses. Like, even when I was growing up, we didn't have whole house heating, and the temperatures went to freezing or below, and we lived, we survived. That was all we knew. We didn't know this concept of whole house heating. And now we're such wusses. Like, 2.5 days, there's no electricity and there's no whole house heating, and we're like, oh my goodness, what do we do? It's so cold. How do we live? How do we survive? It's like a calamity has fallen or something like that. Just it's funny how human beings, me, are, it's like, yeah, without electricity, it's difficult, but I do have a gas stove, so I'm able to cook, but I don't want to cook. It's so cold. I don't want to, like, such a wuss. I'm like, okay, it's okay, just do things. Okay. So yeah, that's why I'm dressed up. I am wearing two socks. I'm like covered. I'm freezing. Okay, so let's call out to Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us focus on what's important. Please help us focus on you. Please help us focus on how to attain you in a sustainable way so that we're not jumping off from the balcony to the parking lot. I've given this example before based on this book, Finding the Gap, that Sukha Mataji has written. I think I've spoken about it in one of the previous videos. But yeah, we want to jump. We're like it's as if we're at the balcony and we see the parking lot beneath, and we want to get there the fastest. So we want to jump, but we're gonna break our bones and die if we jump. That's not the best way. The best way is to turn away from it, walk towards the door, go down the stairs, and then jump. Then get to the parking lot. So sustainable, practical, sensible ways in order to do that. So yeah, please, Krishna, help us figure out, please give us the intellect to understand what that sustainable way is and to follow it. Okay, so let's sing the verse together. आयुः सत्त्वबलारोग्य सुखप्रीतिविवर्धनाः रस्या स्निग्धा स्थिरा हृद्या आहारा सात्विकाः कप्रियाः. So poetic. Every verse is so poetic. Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. So people in the mode of goodness prefer foods that promote lifespan, increase virtue, strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, succulent, nourishing, and naturally tasteful. So he here just talks about vegetarian foods mostly, like why we should have vegetarian foods. So yeah, I'm not going to go into that. I'm assuming that most of us understand the importance of vegetarian food. If you feel like you need to understand, then please read this. It will give you a great detail, but I think many of us are probably already there. Okay, so let's see what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. He says, all foods which increase life, existence, strength, health, pleasure, and love, which are juicy, mild, substantial, and favorable to the body, are dear to those who are in Sattvika. Basically, those people who are in Sattvic mode naturally prefer healthy foods and good foods and sattvic foods, and those who are in tamasic modes naturally prefer tamasic foods, and vice versa. Those who eat tamasic food become tamasic, and those who eat sattvic food become sattvic. So if we go the other directions, if we feel that we have tamasic tastes in some areas, then we can go the other direction and we can choose to eat sattvic food so that we become sattvic ourselves. So that is um, what this verse is saying, what I understand from this verse and the previous one or two verses as well. Okay, I wanted to talk about a little bit. I've spoken already about Raj Bihari Prabhu's uh, journaling workshop, and I've posted it. I posted it in the one yesterday. Let me tell you which one it was. It was 17.5. So I've posted the two links of there are two part series of this workshop, 2 hours each long, and I posted the links there. So I'll highly recommend that you do it. And I added a lot of those sections to my daily template, daily journal template, because I've been journaling since I was 17, but it's like it's been haphazard. It's been all over the place. It's not focused, and it definitely wasn't. I mean, I didn't even believe in Krishna until 2.5 years ago, but it wasn't focused towards Krishna. And so now this has helped me focus. So I've changed the sections of my template. If anyone wants to know about how I journal, like the tool I use is Evernote, and I have the different templates, then let me know in the comments. I will be able to post a video based on my understanding of him. I will I will recommend that you definitely listen to him because it's very good, and then I can show you how I implement it, because it's best to write it out by hand, but I don't write it out by hand. I use Evernote because it's easy for me to access it wherever I am. And so even if I'm sitting in the car or something, it's just natural for me to journal. It's natural for me to write it out, except now that I have a deeper focus and I can just completely see it being a life-changing transformative thing, because he's talking about specifically asking questions that are your problems. What are the problems? You write out all the problems, and then you just set the alarm for 10-15 minutes. That's called a problem solving journal. No, questions and answers. And so you set an alarm for 10 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever. You take the first problem. You write out a list of 15, 20 problems that are significant problems in your life. And then one day, you just set the alarm and you write, and you free flow write, and you just keep writing. You start off by answering the question, and then you just write whatever comes to your mind, and you stop when the alarm goes off. And then you come back to the next question a few days later, 2-3 days later or something, and then you do the same thing and you write. And you don't go back and read. You just write. You set the alarm and you write, and you stop when the alarm is done. And you keep doing this. Like if you have 15 questions, you're doing it every 2-3 days. You can do it every day. You can do it whenever you want. There's no rules. He insists on saying over and over again, there's no rules. Don't feel pressure to do this. Do this if you feel inspired to do it. This is not meant to add to your already extremely difficult routine. Just do it if you feel. And he's saying this is the benefit of it, so you do it if you want to. And he does every 3 days or something, or whatever. So you do this every 3 days. You go through all the questions that you have and you write the answers, and then you start this process again, and you do this multiple rounds. But the second round, after you've written the answer, then you go back to the previous answer and to this answer, and you see if there is a difference. In some questions, you might see that your consciousness has evolved, and it might be amazing. In some questions, you might not see much change. In some questions, after many rounds also, you might not be able to solve it. And that is a opportunity for humility, right? Like it's like, okay, Krishna, I'm yours. I can't solve this problem. This is I give it to you. You decide what to do with it. I can't solve it. And that's a lesson in humility. Like some problems are not going to be solvable necessarily, or not now, or it might, I mean, you never know when Krishna gives his mercy. We cannot achieve these things. We can only receive. We have to get away from Sachinandan Maharaj says in his book The Living Name, don't be an achiever, be a receiver, because it is Krishna's will when he gives you the intellect, the insight, to come closer to him, or whatever, to solve your problems in life, anything. It is his mercy. So all you can do is just pray and beg. Pray, right? Whenever you're having a problem, pray, turn to him, even for material problems. Radhika Raman Prabhu says, even for material problems, turn to him, ask him. He's your father, ask him. And then you can go back to um, what am I saying? I lost my train of thought. Yeah. So basically, turn to Krishna, turn to God for everything. Pray when you have a problem, and then let Him have the results. Karmarnyavadhikaraste 2.47 Bhagavad Gita is that, like, you have the right to your work. You don't have the right to results. So don't be an achiever. I want this result. So that's, yeah, I mean, you want the result. That's why you're doing it. But don't be attached to it. Just let go and let Krishna give it to you, and He gives it to you because the results are in His hand. Whatever result He gives, whether it's what you think you want or what you think you don't want, either way, it is in Krishna's hands. And you can find that many times you will find that what you didn't get was good for you, so many times. And this is not just a cliche. I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it. This has happened literally many times in deep gratitude. I'm like, thank you for not giving me what I so desperately wanted for years. I mean, for years I wanted this, and I'm like, if I had gotten that, I wouldn't have gotten where I am right now. And this, what where I am right now, is huge. Like, for example, Krishna consciousness, I wouldn't have gotten here if multiple things that I'd wanted for years had happened, right? And because I didn't get them, I kept pining for them, and it didn't happen. And then finally, I let go of them. And when I let go of them, after many decades, I came to Krishna consciousness. And this is everything. Like, nothing else matters. Nothing, absolutely nothing else matters. I've got eternal joy, eternal bliss, Anandambudhi Vardhanam. Shikshashtakam verse 1, I've got eternal, ever expanding ocean of joy. What more can I possibly ask for, right? And it's so good that I didn't get those material things that I thought I wanted at that time. So yeah, be aware of those things also. Okay, I wish you a very beautiful day, and a day filled with lots of Krishna's mercy. Radhe Radhe.